Hello everybody, you're painting and sketching with Gary again. Thank you for being here. Okay, today, take a watercolor painting, but things weren't thought out well enough. I did not do a value study of this like I probably should have. Oh, our goal in the next, let's say 5 minutes, I want to translate this picture, something that would be easier to watercolor. Okay, where do we start? These are the questions we have to ask ourselves. What's going to be the important thing about this painting? Is it going to be the people eating here? Because if that's the case, maybe I would put them a little more front and center. Is it the architecture of the building? Am I going to play that up and de-emphasize or ruthlessly eliminate the competition and everything else? Or is it going to be about this foliage? And right now we can't even tell if that's foliage. That's just a mess right here. I like the idea of this leading in, this diagonal leading in. We could have another diagonal going up there. What about, should we have this like looking up at the building where that would be a little bit narrower up here? All kinds of different perspectives that we see a lot in cartoons and movies. Let's do this. First of all, let's pull this tree and have the leaves and branches kind of go over to this, maybe even casting some shadows there. In fact, that's an idea. Okay. Ground plane is the first decision. So let's just make a line there. It'll work because it's not in the center. Okay, so we have a ground plane line. Maybe this slightly outlined, because if we don't like it, we could change. So we're going to be looking up at this baby, a little bit looking up at that, and wherever the eye level, that will be flat. That's a little perspective stuff. Now these wonderful shapes here, the umbrellas, boom, 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 boom. And our goal today is actually to draw pretty fast and loose. Longer, deeper. Basic shape of this. It's all the way across there. Sometimes we draw without even moving our pencil off the page. Gives you a little bit of action and dynamism. Dynamism? Dynamism? How do you say that? Foliage behind. We could have some negative painting fun over here with this tree. That's kind of neat. Maybe a bigger diagonal there. Let's decide where the sun is coming from. So if the sun's coming from this way, or should we have the sun coming from here? Let's have it coming from here. So that's going to be kind of dark. So we can put some lines there already, giving it some form. 30 lines you can draw on this to get your basic design. There you go, your 30 is done. And maybe I'll give you 10 more lines to draw 3 people. Okay, boom, I got it. That's kind of the idea of doing a quick construction line drawing. Anytime you have an overlapping form, we create what's called depth. The outline is in. Now the next part is the most critical part. Dark value marker, real dark, and simplify this so there's no confusion where things are going. And decide if we want dark behind light or light behind dark. So dark here, and leave some areas for the twigs of the tree, and then that's going to be dark here. And then gradation, and watch how this works. We go from dark, and that's going to gradate down a little bit to almost nothing over there, because that's going to be dark. Light. This game is dark against light. Just a couple dots. Okay, that's really going to jump. Wow, already we've got a center and that nice shape of a awning there, and I want our people to be seen. I'm going to put some shapes of what I think we could make into people. I'm using the broad side of that marker for my big Okay, but we're moving down. This is kind of nice, and maybe some negative drawing here with the people. Leave yourself an out. Beware of replicating a shape. Boom, boom, boom. That one's a little bit similar, but it's starting to take shape. And what about a little walkway? Let's put a walkway, a zigzag, to get your eye in there. And that's going to be, see how we did that? Wide down here. That's inviting. And then we narrow it down as we make the lines a little closer together, as we draw creeks that way as well, riverbed creeks. Okay, now, how about this over here? We're going to have dark on one side, light over here. And you're kind of creating, I'm growing a tree. Woohoo! I've already got a better value sketch. Now that is changing a very complicated to look at to a little bit simpler value sketch. Hopefully we can paint from that a little bit easier. You've been painting with Gary, sketching with Gary today. Bye-bye.